folks. Welcome to my vlog, Jimmy's vlog. Well, I started it last night, so I thought I better give you an update. But it's a mild day here in Ontario, where we are. The snow's melting. Have hardly any snow left. But no, I just thought I would come out and talk to you more about this business getting older and everybody deciding, well, you're done. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a 60s baby, born in 64. Grew up in the 60s and 70s. I was an 80s teenager and a 90s father. Me and my wife got married in 91. Had our first child and my daughter in 92. And my son came in 93 and my youngest came in 95. So we were busy all through the 90s. But like when I got married, I didn't sign a paper saying, well, once you get married and have a family, once they're grown, that's it. You know, you got to start planning for your old age. Because I'm not going to plan for my old age. Christ, I'm not old. I don't feel old. I know when my grandparents were, I remember when they were in their 50s. Well, my one grandmother died when she was 52. And I thought, you know, she was old. Found out she wasn't. She was really young when she died. But I'll tell you, it was scary because I was 8 when my grandmother died at 52. And that, when I was 51, so the year before, that year was so long between 50 and 52. It was a long stretch because I seen 52 coming and I'm going, uh-oh, you know, I'm old. But the day of my birthday, it was such a long day, the day I turned 52, because it was just like, oh, here I am, you know. I don't know, I was waiting for a switch to click in or something to happen that says, well, you've reached this stage, you're old, and that's it. But no stage came, no nothing, you know. I turned 52, had a nice little party with my family, and that was it. It was like, well, I'm still the same person. You know, I don't know. I always figured there was some time when you got all kinds of wisdom and, you know, you got there and that was it, you know. But this business of what I'm going through now is, it's not a midlife crisis. I went out and bought a convertible. But I wanted to do, at 21, I wanted to move up north here and buy a piece of property and stuff. But there's always excuses. You know, my mom didn't want me to go because, you know, it's 2 hours away from where I used to live. And then I got, you know, I was in my teens, and it was the 80s, and the 80s was a big party. Thank God there was no cell phones. Or they weren't common, you know, they weren't a common thing, and there was no videos, and, you know, you couldn't on a Saturday night take video of everybody. Thank God for that. But, no, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a, you know, midlife crisis, and I haven't bought a convertible. I haven't left my wife. I haven't, you know, nothing like that. In fact, my wife and me are just as happy as we were, as we are now, as we were when we got married. Just 25 years. You know, we've been married 25 years. And, you know, there was no 7-year itch, no nothing. We've had a real good marriage. We've had our ups and downs, like most people do. But, you know, I think it's great. My kids are grown. Two of them are on their own. I still have my youngest one at home. He's 21, but he's doing his thing. And now we still have time to do what we would like to do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, Um, to pack up, it was hard. Don't I mean, granted, it was bloody hard. It wasn't easy that day that we had the moving trucks and we were driving through the main street of my hometown that I grew up in, and my grandparents lived, and my parents and my great grandparents. 5 generations of us lived in that town, and it was hard leaving. But by the time I got out of Halton, it was just so much. I was actually it was a mixed feeling because my son and daughter were still going to be there, and my granddaughter. But it was like this burst. I was bursting. It was weird. It was hard to explain, but it was so nice to finally do what I've always wanted to do, was to go somewhere else. Go someplace where it just always feels comfortable here for me. Like I'm up in Huron County, and it always feels comfortable here. It always feels like home. My grandparents moved up here in 1972, and from that time on, I've loved it up here. It's just beautiful. The lake is nearby. There's streams. It's just gorgeous up here. So, the sun's going to try to come out, isn't that neat? Sorry, I'm having to smoke. One of my bad habits. But I just think it's great. I mean, I have been off work for 12 years. Like I said last night, I have chronic cluster and migraine headaches. So there's some days where I cannot, I can't move because the pain is so bad, and I'm on some pretty strong medication. And I found a new pain doctor, and he's got me on these needles. And it's a pain management thing. I'm not quite understanding it, but what he does is he puts them all through my back, on my neck, across my forehead, under each eye, and he freezes each muscle. Like he's trying to reboot my system so that my body will be fighting the chronic pain instead of having all the medication. I mean, I've had some pretty strong medication. The Perks and the Oxys, they were unreal. There was some I took. There was some medication I took. I don't remember the 2 weeks I was on them. My other pain doctor, he said it had the street name Hillbilly Heroin. So I got off the him quick. But I mean, I've been on some pretty strong medication. But I went through a depression because when you can't get up and go to work in the morning, it's not good. I mean, for the first 2 weeks I was off work, I'm dealing with the pain, but it was like, well, I don't have to go to work today, so this isn't too bad. But it's not, you don't go to do the work. You go to socialize. There's people, there's a difference, you're getting out, you're getting out of your home environment. And I just, I've come to realize that the work was not what I was really wanting to do. Yeah, I wanted a paycheck, but I wanted to socialize. And when you're at home all the time, like my wife would go to work in the morning, my kids would go to school because they were young at the time. So I was at home alone all day, and I'd be sitting on the couch and dealing with the pain, or I'd be in bed laying down. And I spent a long time trying to deal with this depression. And I mean, I sunk into a depression where I didn't even want to get out of bed. And then my wife, she said, well, you need to go out, once a day, go have a coffee. And so I went to the mall, and I tried going out for coffee. But I went to the mall, and they were all, like most of the people in there were sitting down having a coffee. Midday, were in their 80s. And at the time, I was 41. So that wasn't going to work. So I volunteered a couple of days a week at a thrift shop. And that was enjoyable. but trying to figure out, I wanted to move then. I talked to my kids about it, but of course they were in, middle school. It would have been too hard for them to pack up and go. But now they're grown, they're doing what they want to do. And my youngest son, he wanted to come with us. And he's trying to figure out a new life for himself too. He's left his friends and left his social environment that he knew. It's not easy. But anyways, I thought I'd check in and let you know that today isn't too bad. Like, the pain level's down. I'm managing pretty well. I did think it was Monday all day. I didn't realize it was Sunday. I thought it was Monday. But anyways, we'll talk to you again. I'll check in again. Talk to you later. Take care.